Hi everyone, today is part 12 of my IG Live interview series. I am so excited today. I have the absolute honor of speaking with such an icon in so many ways. I hope you all are having an amazing Monday so far. I am so excited for today's conversation. I've been a fan of hers for so long, and I just am so honored and so excited to just get to know her more and hear her journey. So stay tuned, everyone, and let's get into it. Everyone.
Megan, this is my first time ever doing this, so.
Hi, Mariel.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I should probably go to my office and put this up against my computer or something so it has something to lean on. This is all new for me. I didn't even know how to do this. I apologize.
No worries.
To all those technical geniuses out there. Though I do have a technical genius in the house who helped me.
No, okay. I'm in the same boat with you. I struggle with it so much.
Okay, good. Well, here I am. Yeah, you're not supposed to look up at yourself. That's not good. Okay, let's sit back then.
Amazing. So thank you so much, first of all, for taking the time to talk with me. I have been such a fan of yours for so long, and as a mental health advocate myself, I am such a fan of yours, and thank you, firstly, for all the work that you do for mental health.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is it's so weird. I never thought that it would end up being one of my biggest passions in life, is to make people aware that their story means something and that they're not alone. And especially now, it's like, oh, guess what? We're all in this together. We're all feeling very similarly, And I love your platform because you talk about, taking care of yourself and being self-aware, and all those things are really super important, and we think they're simple, but they're actually very profound. So it's really good what you're doing. So thank you for that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So before we start this interview, Mariel, I would love to give you the proper introduction that you so kindly deserve because you are doing so many amazing things in this world. So everyone, like I said today, yes. Today is part 12 of my IG Live interview series, and today I have the absolute honor of speaking with Mariel Hemingway, who is an actress, an author, an activist, and a mental health advocate, as well as physical health. And I have been a fan of yours, like I said, for so long, and I love and admire how open you are with mental health and your own journey, because it just inspires and reminds people that they aren't alone. And I think that feeling is just so powerful. And I'm so excited to talk with you today.
I love that. That's good. I'm excited to talk with you. That's awesome. Well, yes. What do you want to talk about?
Yes. So the first question I would love to ask you, Mariel, is what inspired you growing up to want to get into acting?
Gosh, nothing really. It's funny, I'm listening to The Fountainhead. I was going to post today on all the books that I've read during this special time. And I'm listening to it again. So I was thinking about when I was a kid, I always wanted to be an architect. I don't know where that came from, but what happened was my sister Margot, she was a supermodel in the 70s. She was huge, and she got this movie called Lipstick, and she invited me to play her little sister in this movie. And I thought, that's fun. I grew up in Idaho, so I grew up in a very small town. And I thought, oh, this is so cool. I get to go to LA and I get to buy school clothes. And so I thought it was super exciting. And I was in this movie, and it did really well. The movie didn't do so well, but I got wonderful notices. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. I was 13 years old.
Wow.
And I started, you know, I made a television movie after that when I was 14. And then when I was 16, I made a movie called Manhattan with Woody Allen, which that was the one that sort of put me on the map and enabled me to work in a lot of different films. And, you know, it really kind of launched my career. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
That's so incredible. And I mean, I also personally, I've always loved acting and entertaining and performing. And I would love to know for you, Mariel, did you feel that acting like helped as an outlet just growing up? Because for me, growing up, I struggled with anxiety and body image issues, and being on stage always just allowed me to escape my reality and just to focus on someone else. And did you feel like it helped you?
Well, initially I was super, super, super shy. I was so self-conscious. But the irony is when the camera would turn on, I'd be like, you know, like, oh, this is okay, because it gave me sort of, just like you said, it was like a separate reality that wasn't myself, that I didn't have to take responsibility for. And so it enabled me to be a little more free and more open and emotional. And then as time, but like you, I suffered from so much self-conscious body. I just, you know, it's just hard. You know, I think it's hard to be young. I think it's hard to be a girl. I think, you know, and I think it's probably harder now. I think that's what led me to, I mean, there's a lot of familial reasons what led me to mental health work, but a lot of it was just my own struggle with just being okay with being me. You know, that was really hard.
I love that. And that's so powerful what you said. It's just, I resonate with that so much because like I said, growing up, I just struggled so much and I always felt I'm not good enough, but the characters that I played, I could be someone else and feel, you know, someone else's emotions for the day.
Well, it was so funny because I made this movie, Manhattan, and I played this very sophisticated girl. I was really young. I'd never had a boyfriend, and I'm playing this girl who's going out with somebody in their 40s, and I was sexually like really adept, and I didn't know what I was talking about or what. I mean, it was ironic, but the beautiful part of that is that it gave me even if it was a false sense, it's kind of like fake it till you make it. It enabled me to jump into the world in a more sophisticated and confident way. And even though my emotional life needed to catch up with that, my psychic life, but it did, you know, eventually, like by the time I was 50. No, just kidding.
Yes. Yes. I would also love to know, Mariel, what are some of your tips, because you are so huge about mental health and talking about it openly. What are some of your tips during this time that you personally been using, or advice you have for other people who may be feeling anxious or really triggered, stressed out?
Well, first of all, you know, what you're feeling is real. That, you know, nobody can tell you you're not feeling what you're feeling. You're feeling it, and when you get those feelings, just as kind of strange as it sounds, breathe into them instead of running from them. Like, go head on. Like, feel them fully. Because when you allow yourself to feel the anxiety or the depression or whatever it is fully, sometimes that enables you. It's a way to kind of pull yourself out of it. I mean, I'm a big believer. You even talked about the Wim Hof breathing. Wim Hof is, I've done it for years now. Wim Hof, you know, breathe, you know, I've done yoga for years, you know, pranayama, which is breathing in whatever Hindu. It's so imperative we don't breathe. 90% of us on this planet are like breathing, you know, from here up, and that's not where your lungs are, you know. So There's
Yes.
this shallow not taking in oxygen. And when you're anxious, nobody, as my daughter said, and my daughter's
Challenging
things that have stopped me in the past. And and I say this too, is that it's a perfect time to let go of those things that don't work anymore. Because since you can really see those habits that really got in the way of you being healthy, aware, conscious, so you can get rid of those things. It's it's really a powerful time, and I see that opportunity being really profound. I mean, for me, for instance, to do my first live Instagram live video with you, that's exciting for me. Like, I know that's exciting. Talk about like, this is what I'm doing right now. It's like the Buddhist saying, chop wood, carry water. It's this simple act of, writing in your journal, and the doing of things becomes a ritual, and it becomes important. And those important rituals become the things that get you out of the overthinking, because depression and anxiety come from getting locked up in your brain instead of having a brain-body connection that is harmonious, that is in balance. So there's that.
I love that. That's so well said, Mariel. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. It's so real. And yesterday I found myself feeling just out of my body. So I love how much you talk about grounding too. And I look at all your posts and it's just, yes, it's so powerful. And for me, anytime I know I'm feeling anxious, it's what you said. First, I notice, am I breathing from my chest or my diaphragm? Because if I'm doing shallow, not getting enough oxygen, then I'm going to be feeling anxious. So I make sure, am I, expanding my stomach? Am I actually deep breathing? And the second thing is grounding helps me so much. If I ever feel anxious, I kind of tune outward instead of inward, and I'll start thinking, it's a bright sunny day, blue skies. Today is April 27th. Like, I start listing my name, what time of day it is. I'll put my feet on the grass, and it feels so good.
It does feel good. Grounding's been one of the greatest blessings in my life. I mean, I realized that I was probably doing it as a young kid, and you don't think about it because you're barefoot all summer long, you're happy as a clam. And I always wondered, why was I so happy during the summer? Because you didn't have shoes on. All summer long, you ran around my little small town, barefoot, horseback riding, going through rivers. But I literally didn't put shoes on. And, life goes on, and you move through your life, and you wonder why things are kind of compressing. I started really seriously getting into grounding when I met my life partner, Bobby. We met 11 years ago, and he was walking around barefoot on trails and stuff, and I would try it, and I'd be like, ow, 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 and I'd do it for 5 minutes and whatever. Then I did this movie called Earthing. It's Earthing the movie, and it's about earthing. And I realized how profound it had been in my childhood, how it really had saved my life, kind of that connection with nature, literally putting my feet on the ground. And I committed myself probably a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, to really doing it and I hiked probably 6.5 miles this morning on a trail uphill across this kind of flat plain part, and then came back and with the dogs, and I'm barefoot, and I could go for hours and hours barefoot because the connection to the earth, because you have the connection to the electromagnetic field, the frequency of the earth coming through your feet gives you energy. And literally, so that comment that we say in yoga or in life, get grounded, it's literally the feeling of grounded. It makes you feel, you connect to the earth, you make that connection. Because we're electric beings. We have frequency in our entire body. So when you connect to the frequency, it gives you energy. So that pulse of energy is going through you. So you don't get tired. And It gets rid of inflammation. And inflammation is probably, and especially now when we want our immune systems to be strong, getting rid of inflammation is it's why we get viruses, because that inflammation, the lungs become inflamed. Okay, I'm no doctor, so please
no,
do
but
not
what
make
you're saying
comments
is so
about
true.
but you know what I mean? But it's true. So those are the kinds of things, it builds your immune system. But I got this wonderful email from Clint Ober. He's the head of the earthing.com and groundtherapy.com. And I made a magazine for him called mhearthing.com, which is it's an online magazine about all the different things that you can do. So if you go to mhearthing.com, you can see the magazine. It has all these articles. You can also buy a grounding sleep mat. I mean, right here, I've got a mat right here that I put my computer on, and it helps dissipate the EMFs, the electromagnetic field. I also put my bare feet on one right at my desk. Lose you? Sorry. I lost the whole gun.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Ooh, that was crazy. Anyway,
I love
my
that
bare
map,
feet are
though.
on underneath the desk. But anyway, he sent me this incredibly, get back to what I was talking about. He sent me this incredible email of a back and forth of a doctor and his discovery that grounding really is amazing for people with depression and anxiety.
Wow.
It's just literally a doctor is like, I will absolutely back that this science is real. And Clint has put, years of study into this, 25 scientific studies proving that grounding is just great for you on so many levels. So that for me is just so huge. But I think grounding is just one of the greatest things you can do, especially if you suffer from any kind of mental health, anything. And we're humans. We suffer from it, even if we're pretending like we don't.
I know,
right?
It's so true. At the end of the day, we are just still human beings. We're not robots. So it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't matter if you have a known or unknown mental health condition. We still have to ground ourselves and fill up our battery and recharge. And being in nature, I think, is one of the most powerful ways you can do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. It's so good. It's good stuff.
I know. Mariel, I would love to ask you one last question. So with all that you've accomplished, you've written so many incredible books. You've just really blazed your own trail with just the mental health, and I so admire you for what you've done. Do you have any fun upcoming projects that you would like to share?
Gosh, yes. My partner and I are we're starting kind of an online thing, podcasty, similar to what you're doing, but kind of lifestyle, going around our house, the garden, the this, the that. And that'll be called Barefoot with Mariel and Bobby. We're doing that. I'm also directing and starring in a movie this coming summer. Once this all lifts, I'll be in pre-production on a film. I'm super excited about that. I'm producing my grandfather's book, A Movable Feast, into a short form series. And I'm also producing something you'll probably really appreciate, and probably your followers will as well. A series on the prevention of suicide, initially for teenagers, but I'm sure it will go on to many different. But I want to do it not just to tell sad stories about like people going through horrific things. I want it to be a place where people can go for solutions, because there's so much talk about mental health now and mental illness, and that's great. We need to talk about it. We need to not be ashamed, and there should be no stigma, but we also need solutions, and people need to feel as though there is, there's recovery for them, and that they're not alone. So I'm very excited about this series. Time Magazine is my producing partner. So that's pretty exciting. That's coming up really soon.
That's so
I say
exciting, and
friends of mine on here.
congratulations.
That's so cool. I'm like, oh my God, little names come up, and I'm like, oh my God, I know her.
That's so incredible, Mariel. Well, thank you so much, Mariel, for taking the time to talk with me. And everyone, go check out Mariel's books on her website, marielhemingway.co. In her bio on her Instagram, she is such an incredible advocate for just mental health and being open and honest and just nature and health and well-being. And this has been an absolute honor, and I'm like, pinch me, because I've been such a fan of yours for so long.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I love what you're doing, and keep it up.
Thank you so
and
much.
Thanks for being my first IGTV live.
Of course, the first of many to come.
There you go.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.